Welcome back, everybody. It's me from the future and here to discuss Litecoin. Let's do a quick Litecoin update. Similar to what we did about a week ago, we took a look at Litecoin and we basically we're talking about this fractal here. We're looking at the 1 week chart, by the way, which features history all the way back to 2013 bull run, 2017 bull run, the midterm 2019 bull run, which was followed by the 2021 double peak bull run. Right now, where are we? We're right here at $93.23. Okay. In our discussion last week, we talked about this fractal here, this midterm bull run, little mini bull run, right? And that was, of course, due to the halving, the Litecoin halving that was in August, right? So we found ourselves running up in anticipation to that halving, but stopped short at around June 19th and crashed into the halving a month later, okay? We're kind of doing the same thing now because guess what? Our next halving is August 2nd, right? And I'll flip over to it really quick. 128 days left. So within this 128 days, we should see perhaps a continuation of the run we're having right now in this midterm bull run, midterm small mini bull run. What might that look like? Well, if we are mirroring what we did in this past 2019 midterm fractal, we are probably at this point right here where we ran up, found a resistance, came back down, landed on a simple moving average, right? Which is pretty much what we've already done. And then we found ourselves moving up to a higher point. Is that what we're doing? Are we moving back up to that 140, 150 range? Okay. But only to crash back down into the halving, which is marked here, August. Okay. So on our channel, we're always looking at the macro view. We're not doing day trading. We're not talking about what we bought yesterday and we're selling today. We're doing long-term buy at the lowest low, sell at the highest high. That's our strategy. So that's what we're doing here. We're looking at where's the price going to bottom out. Did it already bottom out at around $40 back in June? Maybe. We've got a couple of trend lines. Let's zoom in. A couple of lower end trend lines. Yes, I know it's very busy here, but it's important that all these intersecting trend lines show us and tell us the story, okay? This red trend line down here, this lower trend line, has a lot of history, touch points, okay? So that's why I've marked off the probability that we could hit that in the $53 range, right? Depending on when we come down and hit this lower trend line, that is going to tell us the point, right? Are we going to come down, wick down, and touch that lower trend line on the red? Probably. That's highly probable, right? And it would look something like this. We'll draw it really quick, something like this, coming through here, maybe bouncing up and hitting this trend line, maybe coming down, something like that, right? Let's zoom up. Any of these scenarios can happen. Could we continue up, hit our target at that 143 area, come back down into the halving, bounce off of this little trend line here, right? It's all about trend lines. Come up to here, hit this trend line, come back down to here. Mind you, this isn't like a day or a week or even a month. This is months, right, of movement. So to the naked eye, watching the charts every day, you don't quite see this, right? But what does this look like? This looks like this, right? Because these are repeating fractals from the big bull runs to the small midterm bull runs, repeating fractals, okay? All right, with that said, yes, we could come down and hit this lower red trend line, but I also have this very important purple trend line. This is our area, 35-ish to 52, 53, 54, 55, that kind of an area, okay? That's what we're looking out for, Okay, let's take a closer look at it. Yeah, it seems out of control, right? When we're at $93 right now. But when you look at the history, it does make sense. Why not touch it again? Especially when this trend line is ascending. It's going up, right? So we're finding a floor May 2017, December 2018, March 2020, right? This is an ongoing trend line. Now, we could find this red trend line. This could be the lowest of the low. Maybe we already hit it, because technically we did. We've already hit it in June of 2022. Now we're in 2023. So there's your probabilities, right? So from here, I wanted to highlight some news really quick. We can go into that. This article from the Bitcoinist is supporting our theories, right? Because we've got Litecoin whales withdrawing $11.4 million in LTC from Binance Exchange, taking that off and probably putting it into a hard wallet. That is 122,000 plus LTC. Really cool. You can get this information on Whale Alert that I'm about to show you here. And it details the exact amounts, right? Everything right here. All the different wallets that were holding this LTC. And this person took all this LTC off. They didn't sell it. They just moved it into another wallet, likely a hard wallet. They know what's coming at the top of this next bull run, which we're about to demonstrate. Okay. Another cool thing here is, I love this idea that they just withdrew all that LTC. What was it? $11 million worth of LTC, and the transaction fee was less than 1 LTC. I don't know what the math is on that, but probably just a few cents, a couple bucks, whatever it might be. Okay, so with that said, there's our story. We've got whales holding their, withdrawing their Litecoin into hard wallets. We've got the Litecoin halving coming up in 128 days. But more importantly to me is the bull run that will be occurring likely 4 years from the last top, which is 2025. Okay. So looking here at this chart, it's quite messy. We've got our halvings marked. Let's look at where the price could go at the top of this next bull run. Okay. And I'm going to squash everything down here to make sense of it all. You might even see that I've got some markings way up there. That's just a peek. Okay, so what we need to do though is use our Fibonacci tool. Okay, I'm going to grab my Fibonacci tool and I'm going to take it from the top of this last bull run, the top, to the bottom. Okay. $1,600, almost $1,700. We've got $1,400. We've got around 1,000, and we've also got an 888 number, which is one of my favorite numbers actually. 88, 888, 8,888. This number seems to kind of pop up quite often, and it falls right around this target, which is interesting. That's a trend line target. We'll talk about that later. But these other three upper locations, that is the 2.618 Fibonacci, the 3.618 Fibonacci retracement, and then the 4.236 retracements. Okay. Yeah, they look out of control, don't they? But there's something that I wanted to kind of chat about. And by the way, this flag is the target for the 2025 bull run top, which is 4 years from the previous tops. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this Fibonacci here. So there's a lot to digest here, right? Is Litecoin going to just stay an oscillator and just for the next 20 years keep going up to $400 and then back down to $35 and then back up to $400. I highly doubt that. Remember back in 2013, we had this little move, this massive move from almost nothing to like $70, $62, whatever it was, right? Way back here, right? Then the next move was massive, right? Or are we going to see that like every other cycle making the massive move into 2025, right? This is the next peak. It would make sense if you kind of look at this in kind of a logarithmic type scale. One of the other things you could do, again, this is just theorizing, but looking back at 2013 and hitting the 2017 top here like this, it's interesting how it hits one of our Fibonacci's as well, right? At that $888 mark, right? Right at our target. So pretty interesting stuff. And I have videos as well on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and it just happens to be that their lowest possible projected lows are also Ethereum 888, Bitcoin 8,888. Really creepy. But again, looking at this chart, I think that makes a lot of sense. However, I think this is really just the starting point for the Litecoin price at the top in 2025. I think we're more probable to hit one of these three, 1,600 and something to 1,400 to 1,000 even, right on 1,000. So for you Litecoin fans, I know this is really exciting news. Draw it again really quick. And where I'm putting the low end is at the purple or the green targets that we had. We talked about a $35 target all the way up to a $55 target. So we're going to put it right down at, let's put it right down at, well, yeah, just $36. We don't even have to be that accurate. And it pinpoints these possibilities, right? Okay. And then, of course, this purple trend line, which I love. Really cool. Okay, so there's your probabilities. I hope everybody's excited about Litecoin like I am. Again, we had a lackluster last cycle. Regardless of how far we moved from the low to the high, it still really just kind of topped out at the same high as the previous year. Again, I think that was just building momentum for this 2025 run. Litecoin is going to shock some people, I believe. There's a reason why you see everywhere you look, you see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, right? They're the three most common assets that you see when it comes to cryptocurrency. So it's no accident. Well, okay, I think that's enough information for today. Thanks so much. Tune in next time. I'm going to try to keep a Litecoin update for everyone on a regular basis. Until then, have a great day. Buy low, sell high. Never sell at a loss.